Hey, hello everyone. Hi, it's 2021, a promising year for each and every one of us, and I believe we all have our hopes very high on God and on our personal effort. I welcome each and every one of you into this year with a heart full of warmth, a heart full of blessings and prayers for you, and I hope you all may have very multiple reasons to celebrate the end of this year come December 31st, 2021. I want to use this medium to address a strong problem in our today's world. In Nigeria today, we have about 40 million to 50 million youths, and most of these youths are not developing themselves by themselves. Like they are not developing themselves personally. Like they have to wait for someone else to come and develop them. It's bad. It's really bad. Like I must say, it's really bad. It's time for us to take our future by our hand. It's time for us to fight for ourselves. Let's not wait for anybody again. The time for waiting for someone has passed. 2021 is a new year. It is time for every youth to stand up to their feet and fight for themselves. Every youth needs STEM education actually. You must have heard about STEM education, which is STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Every every youth in Nigeria today who who is an engineer or a scientist or a mathematician or a technologist is a STEM degree holder. And when I mean STEM degree holder, I mean people who have the idea, people who have the degree that confers on them the idea and the skills to make the world a better place. When I mean making the world a better place, I mean using science, using technology, using engineering, and using mathematics to make the world a better place. And in order to achieve this, in order to make the world a better place, we must be aware of self development. We must be aware of skill acquisition. Every youth today should have a skill. Don't sit back and wait for the government. Don't sit back and wait for your uncle or for your auntie. Let us grab a skill. Let us get something to propel us into a brighter future. We've been hearing about this bright future, bright future, bright future. But bright future will only come to us when we take a step, when we take a leap. But when we sit down waiting for a favor from someone or waiting for a blessing from someone, seriously, it's not going to go really well for us. Although it may go well for some people, but it may not go well for us. I really want to highlight the importance of this self development. It's more of an action. It's something you do to yourself, not somebody doing it for you. That's why it's called self development. It's something you do for yourself. It's about improving in your mental, in your physical, in your social, in your financial, in your moral life. It's about improving so many ramifications of your life, so many angles of your life. It's about improving the way you see things, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you act, the way you do different things at different points in time. That's self development. And about skill acquisition, this is more of gaining something new, gaining a skill. When I mean a skill, I mean something you can do with your hand, or you can even do by talking, or something you can even do by mere pressing a computer, or which is actually a soft skill, or to a hard skill like sewing a cloth or repairing a vehicle or even manufacturing an aircraft. That's skill acquisition. In 2021, let every youth go into self development and skill acquisition as what? As a preparation for the future. Because come 5 years time from now, the world will be a different place, and all those who have not geared themselves up towards engineering, towards science, towards mathematics, towards technology will lose a lot. Like they will really, really lose a lot. Speaking about employment, we see today that companies are actually searching for workers with multiple years of experience. Like the minimum years of experience you can get from a standard company that can pay you well huge amount of money will be like 5 years. And imagine for a person who have graduated 3 years ago or even 5 years ago and is trying to apply for the job, what skills will you have to augment your CV? What ideas will you have to augment your CV? I remember going for an interview in a renowned company, and they were asking questions they were that was actually quite funny. Like, how would you ask a graduate a what is stock? Can you mention the first 20 elements? Yeah, those questions seems quite funny, but I believe so many people fail that question. Why? Because they channel all their life towards waiting for someone, towards waiting for people to come and help them. But that's by the way. I'm talking about skill acquisition and employment. Now, if you are looking for a job and you do not have what it takes to apply for that job, what would you do? In most cases, some graduates will just apply for the job and begin to pray, oh God, please let your will be done. Oh God, please do something, do a miracle for me. God does not work magic. God does not work magic. You cannot expect yourself to qualify for a job that says we are looking for a mechanical engineer with 5 years experience, skills, so and so, must be able to drive a car, must be able to understand ladder logic, must be able to understand instrumentation and control, and so many things. And you're applying for this job without having any of these skills. My dear, you're not gonna get that job. Just have to back out because you have no value for that company. You must add value to your life by developing yourself. You must have value to yourself before other people can see this value and want to have you. Other company will see this value and want to die for you. There are many engineering skills to acquire in 2021. Like, there are a huge range of skills that one can acquire in 2021, and I really hope you are aware of this. And when it comes to video editing, and when I say video editing, I do not mean editing a wedding video or a birthday video. No, that's not what I mean. When I say video editing, I mean editing videos for companies, for businesses. Like, when I say for companies, I mean for marketing companies. Like, you can actually edit a video using video softwares like Blender and the rest of it, or even Canva. You can use such software to edit video, to make video that will give you huge lots of money, or even give you connection to secure a job. We also have ICT, programming, web design, web development. We have so many of them. Name them. Search for trending skills to acquire in 2021, and you will get them. Okay, how about a quick journey into that? Let's search for that on Google, and let's see what Google has to say about that. 2021 skills to acquire in 2021, rather, in 2021. What does it have to say? Now you can see this. We have cyber security, we have cloud computing, we have DevOps, we have AI, but that's actually in ICT. That is basically a tech job. How about to go into something different, something completely different from ICT? How about we go into skills employers are looking for? Skills employers are looking for. Let's see what we have here. Here we have analytical thinking and innovation. We have active learning and learning strategies, complex problem solving. So many of them you can research for and see what they are used for, and see how they can help us in you know becoming more effective in companies, helping us becoming more useful, more sorted for, more. I just don't know how to say this anymore, but I believe you already know where I'm coming from. there is a need to acquire trending skills in 2021. And this brings me down into the a major reason for making this video, which is instrumentation and control skill acquisition. Now, instrumentation and control, it's actually, this refers to the connection of a group of devices that work together to control one or more variable. Now, when I mean one or more variable, we have various kinds of variable. More like we have pressure. Pressure is a variable in instrumentation and control. Pressure is a variable. We have flow. We have level. We have temperature. We have many of them. Name them. So I'm trying to introduce to you instrumentation and control to see how it can help us in Nigeria's industry. In many industry in Nigeria today, we have companies searching for instrumentation and control engineers, and this is the problem. There is actually a very low supply of this skill, where there is a high demand for it. Now, why not tap into these skills? Instrumentation and control will help you to achieve absolute automation, proper automation. Now, this is automation room, a control room uh, in a factory. So let's assume this is a bread factory or a juice factory. So this is the control room. Here they're using here microcontrollers, they're using switches, they're using relays. So this is old model stuff. But now it has now the industry has now changed. We no longer use microcontrollers. We no longer use relays like control switch, toggle button, and the rest of it. Now everything is done using the computer. Everything is done using SCADA, using PLCs, using DCS. And I really want us to take our time to understand this thing and see how they can help us grow. Now, what is instrumentation and control? As I earlier said, it's a group of devices that works together to control one or more variable. Now, when I talk about variables, I mean this. Now, let's take a wider view of this factory. Now, let's assume this is a bread factory, and in this bread factory, we have robotic arm, we have conveyors, we have humans, we have various kind of machines, packaging machine, sealing machine, and the rest of it. And do you know that with instrumentation and control, you can have this whole factory operated by staying in a control room using just PLC, DCS, and SCADA systems. Now, this is where PLC comes into play. Like if you go see companies like Nigeria Brewery, company like Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing, various companies that are tapping the advantage of instrumentation and control. Now they have multiple systems. They need instrumentation and control technicians. They need instrumentation and control engineers. I would like to introduce this to you all so you may find the benefits, you may see how important this is. Now let's take a quick view into a SCADA system. Now I have designed a wastewater treatment plant. I want to use this as an example to explain to you the importance of instrumentation and control. Now I'm still working on the designing of this plant, of this treatment plant. I'm not done with it yet, but I want to use this to give a brief explanation of what instrumentation and control is. Now imagine you have these tanks. This is a pump, this is a tank, these are level sensors, this is a heat exchanger, and you have here the slider, you have here the solenoid control valve, but again you have your tank. Now supposing this is a factory, this system here, it pumps in dirty water. This system pumps in wastewater into it. It pumps in wastewater, and this wastewater passes through this pipe, comes into this place. There is a filter. There's a filter right here that filters every dirt. There's a filter inside that pipe, inside that tank, that filter every dirt coming into this tank. So when the water flows into this tank, you have a sensor. Now let's go to the runtime and see what's going on. Let's see what's going on here. Few minutes for it to load. It's loading. You click on OK, you click on ignore, and it's going to load. Let's give it few seconds to load. Alright, it has loaded. Now this is a wastewater treatment plant. I have everything in place, and let's say I have this factory. Let's say I have 10 acres of land where I have a water treatment plant to produce let's say sachet water or bottled water, and I really want to automate my factory. I don't really want people going into my factory to do things like in Nigeria Bureau. When I worked there, they used to have this cold room, this room that usually filled with CO2, and there's a CO2 sensor that they won't allow you go into that factory whenever there's a CO2 alarm. Like, you are not allowed to go there. Now imagine that there are multiple processes going on inside that factory, but yet people are not allowed to go into that place. Why? Because everything inside there has been automated using PLC and SCADA systems. You don't have to be inside there for the machines to operate. They are all going to operate on their own free will. Now let's use this as a brief example. Now here we have a tank, we have a pump. It is assumed that since this is a wastewater treatment, it is assumed that this pump here will pump in dirty water into this tank. Now how this goes, and when it is pumping in dirty water, now let's assume now this is a low level. At this point, why this sensor is blinking, this is showing us that the water is low. Now when we switch this pump on, this pump goes on. Immediately it passes a particular level, this strips off, telling the operator at the control room that the water has started pumping and it has gone above a certain level. There are also other ways we can make this system look very easy, but just for the sake of explaining what instrumentation and control is, I would not go into deep explanation. So let's just stop here. So now let's assume this is continue pumping. As it's pumping and going, when it gets to a particular level, this begins to indicate. This is now showing that the tank is filled up, and immediately this sends a signal to the pump to shut. Now imagine this is not properly automated, and you have a tank. Now imagine this tank is let's say 20 feet high. You can say it will be difficult for a man to stand on this spot and view the level of water to know whether the tank is getting filled or not. So this is the essence of using instrumentation and control. It will make our job very easy and very faster. I hope you gotten the point of what I'm trying to explain. There's just a brief explanation of instrumentation and control, and it's a course we are offering at Tuan Engineering and Services Limited, and our office is located at GRA Enugu inside Essex, which is IMT Campus 2. I welcome you guys to come and have a view of what we have to offer to you guys. See how you can learn, see how you can develop yourself, see how you can grow your skills. Don't wait for anybody. Don't wait for your uncle, for your auntie. Get something learning. You have to begin from learning first before you begin from earning. You can't just jump into earning without learning. You must learn something. After learning, what you have learned will now give you the opportunity to earn. Now, your earning capability is actually proportional to your learning capability. Now, what you can learn or what you have learned will give you a leverage to earn. If you do not earn, it's because you have not learned anything. And if you are learning, you are definitely going to earn. So see you guys in the next video session. Thank you very much for listening.